Hi, everybody. My name is Howard Samble. I am the director of the Life Crafting program, and I have with me today Rhonda Ohlson from Brisbane, Australia. She has recently completed our 6 month life crafting program, and what we're going to do today is we're just going to have a little interview, a little brief interview, formal, informal, to kind of explore a little bit about what her experience has been, and as a way to complete that experience for her, but also as a way to help people that are just starting to learn about this. It's new to them, and they just want to learn about it to get a feeling for this, to see whether that this might be a fit for them. Okay, Rhonda, we're all set.
Yes.
Great. So let's start out with, we're going to kind of do a little snapshot here. Let's start out with the point in time before you learned about life crafting and see if you can sort of capture where were things at for you at that point. Where were you in your life in general, or where were you in your business? And just give us a little description of that.
Before I met you, I had been a therapist for about 30 years, doing a Feldenkrais practitioner,
Right.
and had built a successful business with a lot of hard work and not much money. So I earned enough to pay my bills and a little bit over.
Ah,
And just before I met you, I thought to myself, I'm 60. Well, I was 67 then. I'm 68 now, and I thought there must be another way. I need to keep working, and I want to keep working,
ah,
but I can't keep going the way that I'm going. It's just not sustainable. So I put out to the universe, there must be another way, and suddenly I met you on the internet somehow, and through an interview with Brenda McIntyre, I think that was, and
yeah, exactly. It was some sort of a webinar series, I think. Yeah.
yes, yes. And when I listened to you, I just resonated with what you were saying, and then I looked at your strategy session video, 5 Essentials to Making Money Doing What You Love. And so I looked at that and I thought, this is exactly what I want. And so I rang you, and here I am.
Yeah,
So,
very, very good. Excellent. Thank you for that. When you were starting to learn about life crafting, and you were just starting to get the information about it, is there something that you could share with us about what you really stood out for you that was particularly appealing or important to you, that
yes.
that pulled you in, so to speak? What was that?
I had always had this vision of creating a program helping people to express themselves,
Uh-huh.
and I knew the value of the internet. I've done some little courses online, and I knew how valuable that was, and so that was what attracted to me. I just thought that this is a vehicle. I had the vision for that, but I didn't have the practical. I didn't know how to apply that in a practical way and get the support that I needed. And I thought this is the vehicle that will give me that, so that I
Thank you.
can create a program and have money that is not so much dependent on me being there every minute of the day, but
Excellent.
something,
Excellent.
leverage my skills.
Wonderful. So you had a vision, but you didn't have the system or the means, the practical
Yeah.
means to implement it. Very good. Thank you. So what I'd like you to do is now fast forward to the present, and then share a little bit about the level of clarity that you've gained, or direction in life that you've gained from the program, and also a little bit about the business that you're, as a result of that, the business that you're presently launching. You can say a little bit about that.
Well, I feel like I'm light years away from that 6 months ago. I just with the system that you've set in place, it was like there were little building blocks, one after the other, and each one was critical to the next stage. And so I learned to put them all together and create a program that's called, at the moment it's called Express the Real You. And at the time when I first started off, I knew that I was doing Feldenkrais, and I knew that I loved to sing and do the voice work, but it's through the program that I learned to put all the things that I do together. And that was an amazing thing, so that now this program is an expression of who I am with every aspect of me. And so I feel a sense of joy in what I'm doing rather than it being a chore. and what else? So what I think the value of the program was the practical things that I learned and the support that I got from you and the community in the life crafting community. That was critical. I think I've been a bit of a lone ranger and done everything on my own, and was tired basically. So being in the program gave me the support that I needed and the encouragement that I needed to do what I came here to do. Really
Good. That's wonderful. Thank you. So you felt that the program really did allow you to gain greater clarity about your optimum expression, and
yes.
then pull together all of your interests and values, kind of converge them together into something where you can make your biggest contribution.
Exactly. Yes.
Very good. Excellent. Wonderful. All right. What I want to ask next, Rhonda, is from where you are now and you look ahead to the future, as a result of having done the program, what do you see as a potential looking ahead to the future as a result of what you've gained? Can you share a little bit about that?
Well, my life already has changed, and it will continue to do that. I've already, even though I haven't finished this week my program, I've actually got 2 clients already, and I'm working with those people, and so I see that just continuing to happen, and I think I see myself being a mentor to other people who want to create their own business. That's
nice. That's beautiful. Thank you. You know, one thought that occurs to me, Rhonda, is that there are so many people out in the world, and I know you know this. There's so many people out in the world who are healers of one kind or another. There's so many coaches and healers and counselors and therapists, whatever. And so many of them are very much afraid they want to have their own business, but they're so much afraid of how are they going to convince people. They use that word a lot. You know, how am I going to convince people to work with me? And how am I going to convince people to pay me the kind of money that I know inwardly that I'm really worth, but that I'm not really quite sure that I'm going to be able to get them to see that value and pay me. So if you can make a couple of comments about that, regarding the subject of enrollment and money, and how you feel now as a result of what you learned of being able to engage in that enrollment conversation.
Well, that has been an absolute mind-blowing opening for me. I think I've made some sort of soul contract that I was a healer and I would be just receiving what I needed, and so there was some sort of decision that I made on some level, some vow or something, and that has just changed. I realise that I can open to the abundance of the universe, and not that I want to be a squillionaire or anything, but I would just like comfortably and in my old age, and it was a huge thing for me to see that I wasn't a used car salesman.
That's great. Yeah, I've had the incredible pleasure of watching you grow immensely and evolve so much. And just in terms of your comfort level and your confidence level, interacting with people and just being able to be, your heartfelt, loving, authentic self, and at the same time be able to empower individuals to see what they can have and be and do, and how that partnership that they have with you can make such a difference. So I just love the fact that you've embraced this so much and you've been able to go with it. It's really, really beautiful, really great. The next question I have, would you have anything further you wanted to say there?
Well, it's just because of how you work with me with that. Like, you have the ability to see the big picture and to know the parts that I needed.
Okay. Yes.
To be clear.
Right. To zero in on that spot, and just in that little spot where we can create the breakthroughs. Those little important breakthroughs. Yeah, that's one of the funnest parts of the process to do that. Yeah.
And that is a skill that you have, from your own experience.
Thank you.
Yeah. You've had in your life. Yeah.
what I'm wondering about is that there's nothing in life that is always easy or smooth. We all, no matter what we do, no matter how well we succeed at something, there are always going to be challenges. Challenges are a natural part of life. And however, that like the ability to really embrace a challenge, the ability to welcome it, embrace it, see it for what it is, and see it as an opportunity. And that's one of the things that I've also observed about you. I wonder if you could share a little bit about some of the challenges you faced in the program as you were going through it, and what ultimately transpired from those challenges. What exactly were the breakthroughs that occurred from that? Maybe you could say a little bit about that.
There were so many things. When I started off the program, I was moving house a long way away to another, and just like resettling. My family was going through their own. I've got grandchildren. That's just why I moved back closer to them. They were going through a whole lot of things. I was living with them for a while until I came into this unit here, and so there were lots of things, sort of personal things that
Right.
interfered along. Well, not interfered, but there were challenges, and I had to say I was very focused and had my intention very clear what I wanted to do. So despite all these things, I kept going. And the latest thing that happened was the last part of the program was doing a video of what's called a signature talk, and which is me expressing about my program and what it is and things. And the day that I was going to make the video, I was driving an hour and a half away. I was singing at a concert in the morning. My daughter rang me and said, Ian, my son-in-law, had a crash on his bike. He's cracked his head, is unconscious, and he's been taken to hospital. So that was sort of like, what do I do? And I thought, well, he's in hospital, I can't do anything, so I thought I'll go and do the video. So,
Wow.
So, but it was I thought, well, it's just like feeling what was my clarity of intention.
Yes.
And I just did, and then, so things like that kind of happened all the way through. But I just kept...
So it's a kind of rolling with the punches, like flowing along with as things go, and just navigating your way through, whatever it is, and getting to the other side, and having that determination and that patience. But I'm kind of wondering also, like as you went through the program, there were various times, I'm sure, when you felt stuck with something.
Yes.
And if you could say a little bit about what was that like, how did you feel that you were supported as you went through some of those stuck places? I mean, you could say a little bit. I'm sure people always wonder about that. Am I going to be ignored? Do they have so many people that I'm going to just slip through the cracks and nobody's going to pay attention to me? So you know what I mean.
Yes, I know what you mean. Right in the beginning, I had no idea. I know how to do emails and a few things, but I had no idea what Google Drive was or Google Docs. It's all a foreign language, and I was like in the dark. But I would ask you questions, and I thought you're going to get sick of me. You stayed there with me and answered everything, and that really created a level of trust, because I'm not so. At times, not so trusting. That's why I'd always do it myself. And so I learned to trust you, and you were there. And I can remember a few times even crying, thinking to myself, this man is here for me. He's supporting me in a very practical way and a grounded way to do what I've come to do. And it was exactly what I needed in my life at this time. And so then through the program, there were times when I would be... I would just have a SPAC attack and say, I can't do this. And I'd say, I can't go on here. And you would just gently come back. You and Kathy and the other Anna and people on the team were always very supportive and saying, come on, I've been through that too. We can work through this together. And so we worked through things. Sometimes I hated you.
It's only natural. It's only natural. I want to tell you, Rhonda, what I want to share with you is that for any kind of teacher in life, no matter what it is that you teach, the greatest gift and the greatest joy is having somebody who embraces the learning, who takes in what you're sharing and what you're giving them. And that's the greatest gift that you've given me, is this your openness and receptivity to take in and to move through the challenges, but to receive what's there and to keep going and embrace every video, every mastermind call, everything, and just take it on and break it down and post, transcripts and outlines and all this. Just make it your own. And it was just really amazing to watch you do that and to be a part of that with you and to see the benefits, that you then contributed to others from, those efforts. So I want to acknowledge you for that.
Thank you. And it was because your program was so valuable that I saw the jewels in it, and I saw the potential of it, and I wanted to
right.
do the best I could.
I know that before we met that you had spent some time in your life studying a little bit of astrology. You were already somewhat knowledgeable about it. But then when we started to work together and we were able to really delve deeply into your birth chart and the transits, how was that for you? Was that something that added another dimension? Maybe you could say a little bit about that.
Yes. Well, because you have a different, I think always different people have different lenses, and you had a different lens and showed me, when I got a lot out of it at the time, but then looking back as I went through the program, I went back to it and I saw that that everything that I was going through, you'd actually, all the obstacles and challenges that I would face in my life, you had talked about right in the beginning, and I could see that you were kind of stepping me through those. So you looked at the chart in the perspective of what obstacles might this person face in terms of their business.
Okay. And so we're able to dovetail the two
yes.
together was
yes.
was valuable for you.
Yes, well, and going back, what you say and what you write and in the mastermind calls, it's such a deep level. There's so many layers to it, and
right.
And the first time I hear it, it's on one level, and then I'll go back and hear it on another level, and so that happens all the time, and that's why I like going over things, because I get it on a deeper level.
Yes, I've observed you do that time and again, and just be present and open and just receiving and going down, and it's a beautiful thing to watch. What I'm wondering about, Rhonda, is there is a lot of people who are introduced to one way or another to life crafting, and it's a very big step for them. It's represents a really big step. And on the one level, many of them, when they learn about it, they find it's amazing that one program could give them so many things. So on one level, they're excited and they're thrilled with the opportunity there. But then it's only natural, sometimes we'll also feel a trepidation or a concern or fear. Can I really do this? Can this really happen for me? Is this for real? Will these people really be there for me every step of the way? Will they guide me? And so on and so forth, and those kind of challenges. And I'm wondering if you might have some advice, having been through this experience, if you have something you could offer them, people watching this, about what you want to share and what advice you want to give them. Anything you'd like to share?
I would say, like for me, it's always listen to my heart, listen to your gut.
Okay.
And if something's really calling you, listen to that. And of course, there's going to be the ego will come in and make all sorts of, tell you all sorts of things about why you shouldn't do it.
Right.
But if you would feel it inside, in that gut feeling,
right.
And I think when I first met you, there was a calling on a deep level. I didn't really understand that at all. I just knew that this was what I needed to do.
Right.
And afterwards, there were huge objections, as you know, that you worked through me with. But it's just listening to that gut feeling and knowing that I think you're calling the soul, saying this is your soul purpose.
Yes.
And this is an opportunity to allow that to manifest.
Yeah,
the gift you give us is, or gave me, and I think all the people in the life crafting, is that you develop practical ways of bringing heaven down to earth. In that sense of like taking the visions and bringing them into practical reality, and looking at all the obstacles that are in the way of that. And so I'd say to people who are looking at this, if you feel it, if you feel that calling in your heart and in your gut, then follow that.
It's a very good point, Dan. Thank you for that. That's when I think you hit on a really key thing, and that is some people know that they feel that inner guidance. They're connected to that inner guidance, and they've learned to trust it and to bypass the mind and, as you say, the ego and the fear place. Some people are still yet at an early stage of learning how to trust that inner guidance and not knowing necessarily what it's saying or what that gut level feeling is. So it's can be a little bit of a challenge to know how to connect to that inner voice, to that inner challenge. So but anyway, what you've shared is powerful and I know from your heart, and I really appreciate you taking the time to answer some of these questions and really help people realize. I mean, I think by now that I consider the greatest adventure in life is to know your soul purpose and to then manifest it and bring it out into the world in some way you can contribute, but also have it work for you and be able to, have it be successful financially while you give your greatest gifts to others. So you've taken a giant step here today to further that by sharing what you're sharing. You're basically helping me in, with my mission. And so I appreciate that a lot.
Got a good heart, Howard. That's
Anyway, well, I look forward to continuing our partnership, Rhonda, and we'll be working together, I'm sure, in numerous ways in the future. If you've watched this video and you have thoughts you'd like to share, feelings or questions, absolutely, by all means, you can always email me. My address is howard@lifecraftingprogram.com. We welcome everyone, every thought, all thoughts, and we're happy to support you any way we can. Thanks again, Rhonda.